Hey guys, you're back with Welcome to the K. I'm Shine with Sun, so please introduce yourself.
My name is Young Age, and yes, you heard that. That's Young Age. I don't know what else I could tell you about that, but it's just Young Age. And the H, if you don't understand what that stands for, let me just give you a little brief introduction on that. It actually stands for Habeshas. I know most people don't understand that, but that's it's where I'm from. We have Ethiopians. I'm from Ethiopia. We have Ethiopians in another country called Eritrea. That's what we call ourselves. We call ourselves Habeshas. So I always used to call myself the young Habesha because I always feel like I'm the young version of my people. So I want to represent my people. I was telling them I'm the younger version of you guys because they are themselves in their country, and I'm here, so I'm trying to represent them here and say I'm the younger version of them.
That's really cool. I didn't know about that.
Well, that's a new fact.
It's like I learned something new today.
Yeah, there you go.
What got you into the idea of reposting other like local music artists like music?
What got me into the idea of that was like, first of all, the page I go through is Around the Block. I really just started that because like, for one, I'm a big person into music. I'm really big into music, so I've been listening to like music since I was young, but not really seriously listening to music. Like I was listening to pop music, which was like, you know, Taylor Swift and all that stuff, and I was like, yeah, it wasn't serious music. It was like, okay, we just listened to it because everybody else listened to that music, and that's what I was listening to when I go to school because that's always played on the radio. But over time, I was just like, let's listen to more music. And then one day, I kind of just, like my sister kind of threw me in the loop, moved into a new house in Kitchener, and my sister threw me into the loop and she showed me The Weeknd, which I was never like, I was like, who is this? Like, I've never heard of him. I was literally sitting in my basement, like, and she literally tells me, yo, play this song on YouTube, and I was like, okay, like, and I heard it, and it was What You Need, and I was like, okay, this is garbage. Throw this off, like, turn this off. I think it was like, no, I can't even kid you lie, like, I think it was like 4 or 5 months later, I heard Wicked Games, and that's when I went back and I was like, this guy's actually pretty interesting. So that's when I started to follow up on him, and I started to fall into the whole R&B genre of music, and I was just getting more in love with music, to the point where like, I was like, okay, this is something I could do out of it. But then I kind of stopped because high school came around, right, and I was like, okay, high school is here, like, what do I do with it? I don't really think I want to do music. Maybe I want to do something else. Maybe I want to do something else. Went to police foundations, never liked it, dropped out of that, graduated from it, but I didn't like it. Then I was like, okay, what do I do with that? Because now I'm like, kind of, you know, here and there. But prior to that, in high school, I was a track and field coach. Like, I was doing track and field, and I got an award for, like, the coach's award for basically helping all the students, like, prepare for themselves, like, preparing to become, like an athlete and just basically running and whatever, telling them to stretch here, to do this, to that. Got that award. So when I realized, because I have a new a best friend from Mexico who's now an artist. He's my brother. I literally call him my brother. He goes by Hidden on Instagram, and he had a friend himself that's named Paradise. So they were always like in contact with me, like, yo, you should do music, because I was like telling them to do music. And when they started doing music, it started popping off for them. And they were like, yo, you should do music too. Like, well, I don't know. Like, it seems like it's in your blood. Like, you seem like you know what you're doing. Because helping them with what they were doing. And that's when I just started to, like, I came back from Niagara Falls. Lived in Niagara Falls for 3 years. And I was like, okay, what do I want to do with my life? Let me figure something out. And that's when I figured out, like, I was doing track and field, coaching people. And I got an award there. And I love music really well. So what can I do with that? Put it together. And I was like, you know what? I might as well become an A&R. Because that's what most people do, artist management, right? And that's when I just started to look into, like, artists in Kitchener, Waterloo, and that's when I just started to, like, I opened up and I started seeing a bunch of artists here and there, and I was like, these guys are talented, but when I'm looking at their pages, they're not really getting action. They're not getting any action on their pages. They're not getting reactions. No one's liking it. No one's looking at them. I'm like, there's got to be something going wrong with this. So I started myself. I took it to hand. Starting in last November, I started just posting artists from around the region, just saying like, hey, check their page out. Check this out about them. They just dropped a new song. They're just dropping a new video. Whatever I could do just to, you know, give them the update for anybody else who doesn't know these artists, because there's a lot of artists out there, right? So I was like, let me just give you a 1-2. There's this artist, there's that artist, and so that's when I just kept going with it, and I just kept doing it over and over and over again. And then now people started to actually want me to keep doing it. They're like, oh, just post mine too, and post this, and I'm getting DMs every day, and I'm like, whoa, I didn't think it was actually gonna be serious. But that's when I started, and I just kept going with it.
Do you charge people when you post?
Not at all. I'm doing it from the heart. I'm not doing it for the sake of let's grab money and go. I'm doing it so everybody else is gaining something from it. not only me, because I know I can charge people for it, and I've seen other pages charge people for it, and I see that those people get charged, and then their page gets really nothing. Their page will maybe get what they want, but then other than that, then after that, it's kind of like you don't really get much.
Yeah, like whatever type of thing.
Yeah, you don't really get much after that, because then everybody forgets about you, because they're like, oh, I'm not going to keep up with that person. But it's like, if I just keep doing it from the heart, you keep posting the same person over and over again, people are going to look at that and say, hey, like, okay, why does this person keep posting this person? There must be something good about him. This artist must be good. So I was like, I just keep doing it and don't charge people until time comes when people start, we actually start growing and I want to start charging. I will start charging, but as of now, I'm like, let's just keep it to mutual and let's keep it like a fair, all love in the game, and just keep doing the same thing over and over again.
Do you think social media has a positive impact on our lives?
I think it does, honestly, because like when you look at it, like everybody's on social media. Everybody's on social media, and that's where a lot of people, like truly, I'm not gonna lie, that's where you meet a lot of people.
That's true.
I've met so many artists that I've never thought, like I met another guy from Minnesota. He goes by Katie Sosa. He is literally another artist I've met off social media. I've never talked to him. He just added me one day and was like, hey, listen to my song, and I was like, okay, why not? And like, I have nothing else I'm doing. Like, I'm not doing anything better with my life right now. Just opened it up, and I was like, hey, that's pretty good. Why not? So I just, kept up with him, and I was like, hey, like, I liked your song, da-da. I came out today, we're still talking. And that was like literally a year ago almost. And we're talking about, like, I consider him like my brother now, because I've been talking to him. I'm always telling him like the right moves, what to do with like his music, where to go with it, what you should do besides music, like your business aspect of stuff. And we're always talking, and I literally just got him to do a song with my boy Hidden and Paradise, both were artists in Mexico. So I got him to do a song with them, and his music's starting to blow now because Hidden and Paradise got him on a song, and their music's blowing up already. Like they're getting like thousands of people following them, like watching their stuff. So it's kind of like everybody's moving on the right path. That's what I'm just trying to do with them.
Yeah, I found like on social media you become friends with so many people that you have like never met in person.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like there's, like, I'm not gonna lie, I've met you on social media and I never actually met you in person.
Yeah, that's true. Even though
but then we knew each other
too.
forever, but we actually never did. We were just seeing each other off Instagram. We're like, yeah, okay, I've known you.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
I've known you.
That's like me. I never meet certain people, and then finally I meet them, and I feel like I've been like best friends with them
you're
for
like,
like years.
whoa. Why do you know that about me when it's like social media just literally told me that you were this person, and that's what happened? And
like even like when you saw me from like my class picture, you're like, yeah, I've seen you somewhere, and I was like, oh yeah, one of my teachers.
Yeah, one of my teachers posted that. Yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah, I think social media really does, like, it has a big influence, and I think it will for the next couple of years. To be honest, I think it'll die down eventually, because I think that like once people realize that social media is not really everything we need, they'll start to realize that it's not necessary, and they'll start to get off that, because that's what I think right now for all the artists, that's their main go-to, is just drop on that, and they're never actually interacting with people outside of their actual, like, the actual field. They're not, like, that's all artists all the time, like, go onto the streets and tell people about your music. Don't tell them on Instagram. They're not going to understand you. They're really just going to look at you and be like, yeah, okay, I've seen this on Instagram.
Or just, like, hand out, like, your business card. Just be like,
hand
because then
people,
people, like, do look it up.
Let's be real, Nipsey Hussle, like, one of the greatest, sold 100 CDs for $100, and Jay-Z came and bought it. Like, it's not hard. We can do it. It's just people don't want to because they're so lazy, and they're like, I'm just going to go on social media because it's a lot easier now. I can just click a button and then it's sent to everybody. One click and it's sent to everybody. Which, I mean, yeah, go ahead and do that, but I don't think it's going to work, essentially. But for now, social media will be where everybody's going to be on, because that's where everyone wants to see everything. In a few years, I don't think it's going to last.
How many posts do you typically do in a day?
In a day, I try to do as much as I can. Like, I don't like to flood Instagram, but I want to, like, show there's an artist. Like, I'm not going to post somebody if they drop, like, 6 songs in one day. Like, I'm going to post probably one of their songs and be like, hey, they dropped this, and then just put all the names of the songs they dropped in that, and then be like, there you go. I'm not going to, because I've had people literally DM me and be like, can you drop every song individually? No, that's kind of not how it works. No one's going to look at it. They're going to see one person, they're going to keep going. Like, and by far, I mean, there have been guys who do that, and I'm like, I don't know how that works. I get bored of just looking at the same thing over and over again. I'm like, okay, I get you dropped the song. Thank you, keep going. Like, but I mean, I try to just do like one person each, like But like, so for example, so if like you drop a song, then I'm gonna like, I'm gonna post to you and then be like, hey, she dropped a song, da da da.
I might drop a song.
She might drop a song, guys.
I might drop a song.